Good morning all. I am Dr. Sumit Agrawal, Head of the Department of Commerce, GEMTech Greater Noida. Today we will discuss two topics of human resource management. One is recruitment and another is job enlargement and job enrichment. So first we will discuss recruitment. So what is recruitment? In case of need for manpower, managers hire people by inviting applications from candidates to apply for the post. The process of inviting application is known as recruitment. So thus recruitment is a process of inviting applications for a particular job vacancy in an organization. It is a process of finding and attempting to attract job candidates who are capable of effectively filling the job vacancies in an organization. Recruitment is a positive process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for a job in the organization. When more persons apply for the job, there will be a scope for recruiting the better person in the organization. So why recruitment is a positive process? Because it is motivating more and more persons to apply for a particular job position in an organization. So now we will discuss the definitions of recruitment. So in the word of Dale Yoder, recruitment is a process to discover the sources of manpower, to meet the requirement of the staffing schedule, and to employ effective measures for attracting that manpower in adequate number to facilitate effective selection of an efficient workforce. According to Campner, recruitment forms the first stage in the process which continue with the selection and ceases with the placement of the candidate. So this is the three-step process of recruitment, selection and placement which are interdependent on each other. Now we will discuss about the sources of recruitment. So basically there are two sources of recruitment. One are internal sources of recruitment and another are the external sources of recruitment. So internal sources of recruitment invites application from people within the organizations. Applications are invited to promote people to the higher posts, which is considered as promotion, or transfer of people from one department to the another department at the same level, which is considered as transfer. For example, a senior post in the production department, for example, may be filled by a junior in the production department and it is considered as a promotion. While surplus staff in the production department may be shifted to the sales department at the same level and it is known as transfer. So employees assume responsibilities of the same status in case of transfer but of higher status in case of promotion. So these are the two ways of internal sources of recruitment, transfers and promotions. Now the external recruitment, sources of external recruitment. External recruitment can be done from the following sources. One is advertisements in the newspapers, magazines, journals, broadcast media, etc. Second one is the campus recruitment in the educational institutes or the training centers. Third one is the help of employment agencies like Naukri.com, Sign.com, etc. Another one is the professional associations like LinkedIn, IMA. Word of mouth from one person to another. Gate hiring, which is also known as on the gate recruitment. Generally it is for appointing blue collar workers, semi-skilled and unskilled, for temporary periods. In this gate hiring, company put notices on the gate mentioning the period of vacancies and number of people required. Another external source is trade unions, through which company can get the data of the employees for the recruitment. So these are the various external sources of recruitment. So when organization recruit people from the outside organization, it is called external recruitment. So it is a process of finding potential external candidate and encouraging them to apply for and or be willing to accept organizational jobs that are open. If internal candidates are not suitable to perform the jobs, external recruitment helps the organization to take the benefit of new young blood by allowing outsider to take up the jobs in the organization. Now the methods or the techniques of recruitment. So basically there are three methods which are used by the company for the recruitment of the employees: direct methods, indirect methods, and the third party methods. Direct method: in this method the representative of the organizations are sent to the potential candidates in the educational and training institutes. They establish contact with the candidates seeking the jobs in the organization. Second method is the indirect method. Indirect methods include advertisements in newspapers, radios, televisions, journals, online, etc. to attract the applicants for a particular job. Third method of recruitment is third party method. This includes the use of private employment agencies, management consultants, professional bodies or the associations, employees referrals or recommendations, voluntary organizations, trade unions, data banks, labor contractors, etc. to establish the contact with the job seekers for a particular job in the organization. So these are the three methods of recruiting the employee in the organization. Now the process of recruitment. So there are several steps involved in the process of recruitment. First step is recruitment planning. Recruitment planning is the first step of the recruitment process where the vacant positions are analyzed and described. It includes job specification, job description, job evaluation, etc. that we already discussed in the previous lectures. A structured recruitment plan is mandatory to attract potential candidates from a pool of candidates. The potential candidates should be qualified, experienced, with the capability to take the responsibilities required to achieve the objectives of the organization. So that's the quality of a structured recruitment plan that helps to attract the best candidate for the organization. Now the next step is identifying the vacancies. The first and the foremost process for recruitment plan is identifying the vacancies. The process begins with receiving the requisitions for recruitment for different departments of the organization to HR department. So it involves identifying the vacancies. So it contains information regarding number of posts to be filled, number of positions to be filled, duties and responsibilities to be performed, qualifications and experience required. Job description. Job description is an important document which is descriptive in nature and contains the final statement of the job analysis. This description is very important for a successful recruitment process. Job specification focuses on the specification of the candidate whom the HR team is going to hire. Job evaluation is a comparative process of analyzing, assessing and determining the relative value worth of a job in relation to the other jobs in the organization. This we already discussed the topic of job description, job specification and job evaluation in the previous lecture. Now the step 2 in the process of recruitment is recruitment strategies. Recruitment strategy is the second step of the recruitment process where a strategy is prepared for hiring the resources. This step involved in developing a recruitment strategy that include setting up a board team, analyzing the HR strategies, collection of the data which is already available, analyzing the data, setting the recruitment strategies and search for the right candidate. So these are the various steps of the recruitment strategies. Now the step 3 is screening or shortlisting of the applications received. Screening starts after the completion of the process of sourcing the candidate. Screening is the process of filtering out the application of the candidates for further selection process. The screening process of the recruitment consists of basically 3 steps: reviewing of the resumes and the cover letter, then conducting a telephonic or a video interview, then identifying the top candidate which can be called personally for the interview. Now the next step in the process of recruitment is the evaluation and control. It is the last stage in the process of recruitment. In this process, the effectiveness and the validity of the process and methods are assessed. Recruitment is a costly process, hence it is important that the performance of the recruitment process is thoroughly evaluated. So that's the last step of your recruitment process, evaluation and control. So that's all with the topic of recruitment. Now we will discuss two concepts of HRM which are equally important. One is job enlargement and another is job enrichment. We will discuss this concept, then we will discuss what's the difference between job enlargement and job enrichment. Job enlargement is a job design technique wherein there is an increase in the number of tasks associated with a certain job. In other words, it means increasing the scopes of one duties and responsibilities. The increase in scope is quantitative in nature and not qualitative and at the same level. So at the same level of a job, if you are increasing the responsibility of the candidate, that is considered as the job enlargement. Job enlargement is a horizontal restructuring method that aims at increasing the workforce flexibility and at the same time reducing monotony that may creep up over a period of time. It is also known as horizontal loading in that the responsibility increases at the same level and not vertically. So that is something called job enlargement, where you are increasing the job responsibility of a particular employee. Benefits of job enlargement can be it reduce monotony of the job, repeated nature of the job can be reduced. It also increase the work flexibility related with a particular job. It also improves the employee's skill. If he is capable of doing different jobs, then his skills will be increased. It also reduces the cost by giving more job to the one person. Now the second is your job enrichment. It is a common motivational technique used by organization to give up an employee greater satisfaction in his work. It means giving an employee additional responsibilities previously reserved for his manager or other higher ranking position. In essence, an enriched job gives the employees more self-management in his duties. The job enrichment gives the duties of the higher status. The objective is to give an employee more personal accountability for the work that he does. By doing so, the employers hope that he feels more of a sense of self-worth from his role in the business. Now, there are certain benefits of job enrichment. Companies turn to job enrichment as a way of boosting the organizational morale. The more valuable each employee feels, the more motivated they are produce top result. Also, companies can operate more effectively when employees bear significantly responsibilities for their work and the result. In some cases, using enrichment can minimize layers of management. Also, with job enrichment, employees learn more vertical skills that equip them for higher level position. So it is increasing the skills of the employee and make him more motivated. Now the difference between the job enrichment and job enlargement. The difference between job enrichment and job enlargement is essentially of quantity and quality. Whereas job enlargement means increasing the scope of job quantitatively by adding up more tasks, job enrichment means improvement in the quality of jobs such that employees are more satisfied and fulfilled. Through job enrichment, an employee finds satisfaction and contentment in his job, and through job enlargement, employees feel more responsible and worthwhile in the organization. Job enrichment entails the function of planning and organizing, and enlargement involves execution of the same. Both of them complement each other in that job enrichment empower and enlargement execute it. Job enrichment depends upon job enlargement for success, and the reverse is not true. Which means job enrichment depends on job enlargement, but job enlargement does not depend on job enrichment. Job enrichment means a vertical expansion in the duties and responsibilities and span of control, whereas in a job enlargement the expansion is horizontal in nature. So vertical enlargement is your job enrichment and horizontal enlargement is your job enlargement. So that's all with today's lecture of human resource management. In today's lecture we discuss about human recruitment part of human resource management. We recruit, what is recruitment, then we discuss about the importance of recruitment, then we also discuss about the sources of recruitment, what are the various sources, internal sources and external sources. Then we also discuss about what are the various techniques of methods of recruitment. In the second part of the lecture we discuss about the job enrichment and job enlargement. One is vertical and one is horizontal, increasing in the responsibilities of the employee working in an organization. So that's all with your today's lecture. I hope you understand it very well. Thank you very much.